Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we had just unlocked the Rolequest for Dawn Trail. Apparently a group of villainous villains has stolen 5 sacred treasures and want to throw the world into chaos with them. Well, the whole story arc, how it began with literally the barmaid overhearing them, sitting here talking about their villainous plans. It was like a badly written D&D intro. But let us begin with a healer request. In the sting of things. Ah, what business do you have with me? Ah, my apologies. You're Breckenwood's guest, Ray, not? I'm Neopine, and I've journeyed far from the northern valleys of Jacques Tural to reach this grand city. Tell me, traveler, what's your name? Desiree Klinger. Desiree, rest assured I shall remember it. A shame that we must meet under these unfortunate circumstances. My village's prized possession was among the treasures stolen by the passage of the Unbound. It is known as the Heart Sting, and the soul of dread scorpion, one of the Tural Vidral, is sealed within. The creature once hunted its prey using an array of toxins produced within its body and was a menace to all. Those granted the Heart Sting's gifts may wield this fearsome power as they see fit. We believe the thieves have already taken it across the ocean to Eorzea, and it will doubtless wreak havoc in the wrong hands. Must I seek a healer to remedy any harm wrought by the Heart Sting's toxin in that faraway land? I won't mince words. You're precisely the sort of woman I seek, and we must act quickly to avoid the worst. Will you lend us your aid? Don't expect any miracles? You have my gratitude. To the matter at hand, then. While I was making inquiries into Uliolal regarding the thief's whereabouts, some Eorzean merchants told me a rather intriguing tale. Specifically, those returning from Limsa Lominsa bring fell tidings, tales of able-bodied men and women suddenly losing their vision. An all-too-familiar account, as the Heart Sting allows mastery over all manner of poisons, including those that afflict temporary blindness. A great deal of training is required to properly utilize the Scorpion's gifts, but the blinding toxin is one of the simplest to wield. Seems to me the brigands are the masterminds of these strange incidents, harnessing the treasure's power for their own nefarious ends. Loshkana, the village eldest daughter, makes her Limsa Lominsa in pursuit of a Heart Sting. I intended to set sail with her, but my foot was badly injured by a strange mechanical doll during the thief's ambush. Loshkana insisted I remain here to recover, and she would not take no for an answer. I must ask that you cross the sea in my stead and provide Loshkana your aid, considering that our enemy wields deadly poisons. The danger is too great for her to face alone. Based on when she departed, I presume she's arrived at her destination by now. She boarded a merchantman captained by a woman named Baldwida, who is primarily based in Limsa Lominsa. She may be able to help you locate Loshkana. Good. Off to Limsa Lominsa then. With Holt and Charlian. Good. Baldbreda. I'm Baldbreda, and if you're planning to sell your healing services to me and my crew, don't. My ship ain't settling sail for a short while. Looking for a Turali woman named Loshkana, She made the crossing with us, trying to retrieve some sort of treasure, as I recall. I thought the Hawker's Alley was the best bet for the latest chatter, so you may find her wandering thereabouts. Keep an eye out for a Huron lass with a red tunic carrying a spear on her back. She can't have gone too far. Hello? Oh, hello there, stranger. Can I help you? Alpine sent you to help, did he? Seeing as I've hit something of a dead end, your timing couldn't be better. I suppose proper introductions are in order then? I'm Lushkana of Jacques Terrell, and you're? Desiree Klingmore, a pretty well-known adventurer here. A pleasure to meet you, Desiree. With that, we're strangers no longer. I'm not sure how much Nipin already told you, but I assume you want to hear more about the day of a theft. Would be nice. My father and Nipin had just set a trap using one of the Heartsting's toxins and were on their way to return the treasure to its resting place. But an evil presence stirred in the wilds that night. Mechanical dolls with great glowing eyes leapt from the shadows and gravely wounded them both. My father survived the encounter, thankfully, but he was unable to give chase and coalesces now in my home village. The culprit's face eluded him in the darkness, but you heard two voices, a man's and a woman's. He recognized neither, so we're certain they aren't from our village. Whoever was to there, they must have been the ones controlling the dolls before making off with a Heartsting. Brooke Ever said they're part of a passage of the unbound, but I'm afraid that's all I know of the culprits. Still, that may change if I ascertain the cause of the recent blinding incident that have occurred here. Unfortunately, I haven't had much luck asking around. The thoughts of addressing even one person here is, well, overwhelming when you're from a remote village like mine. The few I've attempted to speak with were too busy to even listen in the first place. You on the other hand look ready to take on the world, or at least the city. Sorry to ask this of you so soon after we met, but could you help me gather the latest hearsay at the markets? Alright. Many things. I'll search the quieter districts for clues in the meantime, and hopefully not get myself lost along the way. Good. Swanberg, do you know anything about sudden blindnesses? The recent chaos in the markets, I'm told the Yellow Jackets have been thoroughly investigating the matter in cooperation with the Adventurers Guild. If you're in a hurry, there's a Yellow Jacket making her rounds by way of a Fisherman's Guild. She'd be a good one to ask. Blinding incidents. I know of them. Started with some bad food at a stall in the Hawker's Alley. A few bites in and folks suddenly go writhing on the ground like bearded sea serpents, claiming they can't see a bloody thing. I don't blame them for raising hells with a shopkeeper neither. Poor sorts couldn't move an ill until the treatment came and they could see properly. The shopkeeper was rightfully furious about the whole ordeal, took it up to his longtime supplier. Escalated into a real spectacle, it did. Turns out the same problem was occurring at other stalls and with fruit from different suppliers, so it don't make sense to pin the blame on individual sellers if their whole supply chain's tainted. Even now, nobody knows what's causing it. Grim business, I tell you. So we're already sowing chaos. Why yes, I know about the blinding incidents. I experienced it firsthand. I was a package, so I purchased some fruit from a local stall. Took a few bites on my way home, but before I knew it, my vision went dark. I stood there shaking and crying, terrified of what would happen if the darkness never faded. I thought I was alone until I heard a woman nearby howling with laughter. Fortunately, I didn't suffer for long. A passing adventure cured my sight with Isuna, and I went about the rest of my day as though nothing happened. But I haven't been able to look at fruit the same way since. Your investigation of Hawker's Alley has proven successful, but you sense there is more to be found. Seek out the Yellow Jacket on patrol, who may have further details on the blinding incidents. Trust me, good. Desiree Klingmore, aren't you? The Desiree Klingmore? It's an honor to meet the realm's wanted hero up close. Is there aught I can assist you with? I hear all sorts on my rounds, so if it's information you're after, you've come to the right person. I'm looking into the blinding incidents. Oh yes, the serial blindings that causing a terrible ruckus around here. You know, a woman in red came this way a few moments ago to ask about the very same. I take it you two are acquainted? We are. Ah, thought so. As I told her, another incident was reported yesterday morning. The victim bought fruit from a local vendor, took a few bites and temporarily lost all vision. same as the rest. The vendor in question was last seen to the south of the octant, so I'm headed there next to follow that trail. You're welcome to join me, if it'll help your investigation. He's paralyzed. We've got to do something. But I have no talent for healing magics. I don't have any spine drops on me either. Perhaps Asuna might do the trick? Please help. Is this one going to be alright? Let's see. I'm healed. I'm healed. Oh, thank the 12. And you lot, of course. Excellent work this way. On behalf of the Yellow Jackets, I owe you my thanks as well. Now, I hate to ruin the mood, but I'll need to report this to my superiors. Could you tell us what inspired you before you found you, sir? It was awful. Just awful, I tell you. I was walking home after another arduous day at work, minding my own business, when a Lalafell merchant suddenly called out to me. You, my good man, look exhausted, he said. Why not soothe your weary spirit and fill your empty belly with one of the realm's sweetest apples? You've earned that, Nate. You deserve it. It was a tempting sales pitch, but I wasn't keen to gamble on potentially cursed fruit. Sensing my apprehension, he proudly declared his merchandise safe to eat. He sounded sincere enough, even took a bite of the apple himself. No tainted fruit here, he boasted. Just normal, honest-to-God's produce. He sold me the apple at a reasonable discount. All seemed well. That is until I took my first bite and numbness spread through my body like wildfire. I collapsed to the ground, struggling to speak a single word. The vendor and his food had suddenly betrayed me, yet I knew not how. As I fell, a woman's shrill laughter echoes from a few yards away, and the vendor soon followed. Never saw the woman for myself, what with the whole not being able to move business, but between her laughing fits, she made mention of a heart sting or some such. Oh, you poor dear. And this woman you mentioned, you're positive she spoke the word heart sting? As surely as the wind blows, for mercy, neither she nor her vendor friend tried to steal my belongings, but they've certainly stolen my dignity. I hope those conniving charlatans get what's coming to them. It's a dangerous fruit we're dealing in. First blindness, now paralysis? But first things first, I should escort this man home. If you mind to pursue the perpetrators further, then have care out there, alright? There's no doubt about it then. Our thieves are at large, right here in Limsa Lominsa. The blinding toxin is simple enough to master, but it's unsettling how quickly we've learned to inflict paralysis as well. I just want to see what purpose this all serves. Were you able to learn anything of their motives? Causing chaos. So they take pleasure from the victim's pain, but nothing more? At least nothing more that we know of. Whatever their true aim may be, we must discover it quickly before more victims suffer at their hands. A hunter must adapt to their environment if they wish to snare their prey, but I have so much to learn about this place. Still, I've tracked them this far, which is a good start. For the time being, I'd like to petition those officers in yellow for any new information they acquire on the heartstrings whereabouts. When we come across any promising leads, I hope I can count on your support again. Alright, how do we continue? Say, Desiree, can you spare a moment? I'll try to start on a positive note then. Good news is that there have been no further incidents involving poisoned fruit. I should be happy about that, but it's not exactly conducive to tracking down our thieves. Despite my best attempts, my investigation is at a standstill. Desiree! I bring news from the Coral Tower. Lalafell man matching the description of that fruit vendor was seen leaving the city with a human woman. It seems they're making for Aleport. We've increased patrols of late, so if I had to guess, the culprits are finding it harder to operate within the city. Seems to force them to withdraw for the time being. Aleport, you say? That's on this island, isn't it? Yes, that's right. It's possible to go on foot, but the ferry by the Fisherman's Guild can take you straight there. While the Yellow Jackets must continue to keep an eye on things here, it's reassuring to know an adventurer of Tessera's caliber is on the case. If you plan to pursue the suspects, Aleport is your best bet. That said, I should get back to work. It was an honor to meet you and your friend Desiree. Safe travels to you both, and give those crooks a good thrashing for me. The city's protectors place so much trust in your abilities. I'm lucky to have you on my side. When I first set sail for Exorcia, I feared I'd never see the Heartsting again, but we're one step closer to bringing it home. In any event, we'd best find our way to the port town before the pair of the troublemakers defiles another food supply. I'll go on it and take the ferry. Meet me in Aleport once you're ready. Alright. Off to Aleport. Ah, there you are, Desiree. You are a welcome sight among such unfamiliar scenery. The ferry skipper was eager to teach me all about this area on the right here, so I believe I have a general idea of what's what. Wouldn't want to lose my bearing on a hunt this important. I asked him about our merchants, and he said he hadn't seen a pair like that. The skipper did mention another merchant though, one who's well versed in the comings and goings of his fellow traders. If anyone cited our unlikely duo, it's him. Let's hope it's enough to put us on the culprit's trail again. The merchant we seek should be peddling his wares by the gates of Skull Valley, so let's start there. He matches the skipper's description. I think we found our merchant. Can I help you? Lalafell and the Hero traveling together. I spied them. Though I'd never seen them before, they certainly made an impression. They sold some potions and elixirs to a pair of fresh-faced adventurers. Over cheap from what I could tell. If those merchants really are our culprit, then those potions are most likely tainted with toxins. Toxins, you say? That don't bode well. The adventurers who bought them, a marauder named Viselm and a conjurer named Zarek, already left for their next job. Said they were escorting one of the local farmers over to Swiftpotch. They're good lads, the two of them. They've been making life easier for the small folk here ever since they arrived, and I need to see something happen to them. Someone needs to warn them about those potions right quick. Leave it to us. Swiftpotch is southeast of here, yes? Let's find them before the poisons take hold. I have a supplier to meet elsewhere, so I can't stay long, but please, find those lads before it's too late. Keep your eyes peeled for a rogue and then marauder and a human conjurer on the road to Swiftpotch. Evil moments. Why have I Lancer here who doesn't help me? Stand your guard. We're being watched. I can't stop this blast. Hiccups! Please, you must aid Wilson. Ugh, thank the gods you found us and you did. Those potion sellers must have swindled us. One word of elixir was all it took to send Zarek into the most furious fit of hiccups I've ever seen. Poor bastard couldn't cast a single spell. Were you calling a poor bastard? If Heartsting's toxins are at work here, we should be able to cleanse them sooner. Just like last time. I'm sorry, did you say? Oh, solid. We have plenty of time to chat after Zarek stops hiccuping up a storm. I had to ask more of you, but could you cast a sooner on my partner? It would be much appreciated. I can speak again. You have my thanks. Bloody hells. First we waste our hard on coin on poison potions, and now there's a killer mammoths on the loose. What's the world coming to? Who goes there? Show yourself. Oh me, oh my, a spear-wielding friend is sharp of eye. You're a fraud from Airport. Why yes, and watching your scrawny compatriot suffer was the highlight of our evening. I admit the poison was meant to silence him, but hiccups was a comedy at its finest. Perhaps the elixir reacted with venom. Regardless, we have had our fill of fun from the results, so I shan't complain. Venom? They must be the thieving cowards from the passage of the Unbound. Oh, my sweet fairy apple, you know us? I suppose that means we're famous. Can't believe it. Or who am I kidding? Yes, I can. Indeed, I am the passer for Unbound's alchemist extraordinaire, the illustrious Elorette. I'm very, very pleased to make your acquaintance. Corconova at your service. Elorette's helping hand and master of mammoths. Your garb is ever so familiar to me, my dear. Oh, don't tell me you hail from that little village in Dural, don't you? My goodness, you've come a long way. How was the voyage? Enjoying the sights? Enough. You've got a lot of explaining to do, starting with the reason you took the Heartsting. This was part of your organization's grand scheme. Well, well, the Applebites back. 'Tis true that my Unbound compatriots harbor lofty ambitions, yes, but I have no interest in overthrowing nations. I merely crave the mice of chaos they've promised me. I aim to bring more laughter into the story world, one mischief and a few handy poisons at a time. Corconova and I are having oodles of fun expanding our repertoire of toxin treats. Yet there's no greater kill to our throats than a healer who can whisk our hard work away. Unless of course a master toxin even she can cure. Oh, I do love a challenge. Now, I hate to leave you, my dears, but our work here is done and we have a busy schedule ahead of us. Mammoths to mend, venomous misdeeds to master, ta-da! For now. No, wait, damn you! That stench smells like a corpse that shat itself. This odor's too much to bear. Take me home to the 12th sword, Wilson. Yes, clear there. Oh no, don't you dare give up on me. Zarek, we've got a job to do. We mustn't keep our client waiting any longer. But we're in your debt. Thank you again for everything, Limsa. Lashkana and this year's Desiree, take care of each other out there. Much as I'd like to track down the Unbound, I know better than to retreat further into their territory without a plan. For now, I think it best we return to Limsa Lominsa. Thank you for your support back there, Desiree. Asuna truly does work wonders. And with Everett, I can't stop thinking about what you said. My blood boils knowing this is awesome sick game to her. How dare she toy with a heartstring for her own amusement? Honestly, even the youngest children in my village have more sense. Still, we did make progress. Now that the villains have revealed themselves, it'll be easier to give chase when they choose to make their next move. In any case, I'll keep you apprised of the latest news as soon as I hear it. We'll be back on the hunt before long. Oh, it's you, Desiree. You have to forgive the dour mood. I don't understand it. How is it that Elorette and Kokonova can be so grandiosely reveal their names and identities that I remain unable to track them down? I've been following the latest hearsay, but I haven't had much luck. Not a soul seen them since the incident with Wilson and Sarek. But that's not to say I've given up entirely. Now that they know I'm on that trail, I suspect they're using my unfamiliarity with this island to their advantage. I dare say they're lying low outside the village. That's why I proposed a trip to the Morabi dry docks. Folk very often speak of it, but I've yet to go there myself, so it seems as good a place as any. If you're game, I'll meet you there. Where in the hell could he have gone? Ah, there you are, Desiree. While I was waiting for you, this fellow came asking for help. Sorry to trouble you, but my little brother's gone missing and I could use a hand to find him. He said he wanted to see the ships I made, so I started showing him around, but the next thing I knew he was gone. That's where he got himself lost. Oh, that poor dear. I know we still have a heart sting to consider, but I'd like to search for this man's brother. That's alright with you? Much appreciated. I'm sure you'll find him over faster with your help. Yeah, my thanks. My brother wouldn't say boo to a goose, but I doubt he'd leave the docks on his own. You got a mop of wet hair like mine, so you know him when you see him. We'll keep an eye out. I know you're itching to search for him as well, but could I ask you to wait here in case he comes back? Let's split up so we can cover more ground. Good luck! I'm scared, where are you? Your brother's looking for you. Huh? You're here to take me back to my brother? I found the little one, Desiree. I'm glad he's safe. I just want to see the ships my brother was working on. Thought I could see them better from higher up, but I lost my way. It sounds like you had quite the adventure. But you are very brave today, so I'll tell you a secret. Even grown-ups get lost. I have an awful time learning my way around somewhere new, even with a map. Really? I guess I'm not the only one. A smile. We like to see those. Now, your brother is very worried about you, so can you promise me you won't go wandering off on your own? I promise. I should say sorry to my brother too. Let's take him back then. Brother. I was worried myself sick over that little one. It could have fallen into the ocean for all we know. You're a lifesaver, both of you. You deserve a proper reward, but I ain't got much to offer at the moment. Oh, we're no need of coin, just some information if you have it. Have you seen a human woman and a Lalafell man standing on the docks in recent days? One is an alchemist, the other a goldsmith. They'd likely have a few mammoths with them as well. If not, have you heard any rumors of food or drink that causes ailments when you consume them? Blindness or numbness, perhaps? I'm afraid I haven't seen or heard anything or anyone like that. Sorry I couldn't be of more help to you. That's alright. Now we haven't been around, the dogs is equally helpful. Well, that's good at least. We're praying to the navigator you both find what you're looking for. Anyway, the two of us ought to be heading home. Thanks again for everything. Good fortune and safe travels for you both. Still no word of the Unbound, but at least you could help those brothers. Children often let their curiosity guide them, which means they naturally wander off on their given adventure. I don't blame the man for worrying as much as he did. Something tells me you speak from personal experience. I do, in fact. I'm the oldest sibling in my family. Can't tell you how many times I had to search for my brothers and sisters when they were growing up. Now that I think on it, I barely even told you about my family or my village or anything really. I'd be happy to share a few stories if you like. The ocean view is beautiful, so we may as well enjoy the scenery and relax a bit. My people hail from the northern valleys of Jaktural. We're a close-knit community of hunters for the most part. Children are given spears, well, practice ones, before they even learn to walk, and we own our tracking skills from a very young age. Is it that surprising? It seemed second nature to me, but then again, I've encountered my fair share of surprises here as well. Our village rests in a veritable sea of poisonous plants and animals, so the slightest injury on a hunt can prove deadly. Thus we believe it prudent to begin our training as early as possible. Yet no matter how skilled we might become, accidents are inevitable, and the heartsting proves vital to our survival. Not only does it produce poisons, it cleanses it as well. In the right hands, it can disperse some of the deadliest natural toxins known to man. It even purifies the beasts we hunt. In fact, our diet consists of highly venomous creatures, ones that normally kill a grown adult if ingested. The heartsting allows us to lead a quiet, peaceful life in lands where others dare not tread. It always has. I suppose that's why I never imagined someone like Elored would take that away from us. When I left, our village food stores were well stocked, but I can't bear the thought of my younger brothers and sisters going hungry. I must return the heartsting as soon as I can, for their sakes. I wish to bring back their smiles and make them feel safe again, just as we did for that young boy. In any case, thank you for listening. Thinking of home puts me in good spirits. As long as I remember who and what I'm here for, I'll be alright, I know it. But I've kept you long enough. I think it's time we made our way back to Limsa Lominsa, don't you? That was a much needed reprieve, but we need to plan for our next destination, and soon. Well now, fancy meeting Yuria. It's good to see you two again. What brings you to Limsa Lominsa? Nothing of import, really. Just a bit of restocking before our next job. We happened to spot you along the way. Didn't want to miss the opportunity to greet our heroes. Our client arrived in swift perch in one piece, thanks to your timely assistance. While I regret that you had to see us in such a pitiable state, we're both grateful for your aid. When last we met, you spoke of pursuing those two charlatans, did you not? Yes, that's right. They've stolen a precious heirloom from my village, so I'm doing everything in my power to return it to its rightful place. So that's the way of it. Bombastic as those two were, we've not seen hide nor hair of them in Aleport since. No word of any incident like ours either. But I have a feeling we won't stay in the shadows for long. If we sniff out any suspicious incidents while we're out and about, we'll keep you informed. I won't say no to some extra pairs of eyes around the island. I've made my base of operations here in the city, so if you hear even a peep about the poisoning, you know where to find us. Well, we may not have found any leads on Elorette, but I'm glad we had a chance to chat. With Wilson and Zarek on our side, things are looking up. For now, I'll keep in touch with our newfound allies. Should I hear any news of our culprits, I'll be sure to let you know. Taste of a Toxin Paradise. Desiree, am I glad to see you. Just received word from Wilson and Zarek. Our culprits have finally been spotted. It seems the thieves headed for Upper Lanasha. I offered to make my way there as soon as I could, but Wilson and Zarek said I should hang back for now. Once we've gathered enough information, we'll be heading back to Aleport. Let's go and see what news we have to share. No sign of Wilson and Zarek yet. I don't mean to assume the worst, but I admit I'm worried. I knew I should have insisted on going. I don't want them injured on my behalf. I said we head out and find them. Miss Loshkana, terribly sorry for the delay. Wisdom, Zarek, thank goodness. How did you fare out there? You found Elorette and Kokonovan? Yes? Oh, we found them all right, but it didn't take long for them to find us. We were set upon by Kokonova's mammoths. This mechanical menagerie greatly outnumbers us, and may very well have been our end. Death by mammoths isn't an ideal way to go, mind you, so a retreat was our only option. Cowardly though it might sound, we needed to ensure we could keep you aware of a culprit's whereabouts. Before they spotted us, they were stuffing their little metal army into a skiff bound for Camp Bronze Lake, and mark my words, they're plotting something new. Of course, it's entirely possible they seek a quiet route to eastern Lanasha and wish to bypass Bronze Lake instead, but a thorough search of a camp would be wise. Alas, the enemy you face is far beyond our capabilities, so this is as far as Wilson and I will be able to go. I'm sorry we couldn't provide more decisive information. Honestly, I should be the one apologizing. You risked life and limb for me already. I never meant to push you past your limits. You needn't dwell on it. We're as eager to bring those criminals to justice as you. Indeed, we shall at least take pride in knowing we could point you in the right direction. But we should take our leave for now. Winston and I ran most of the way here, and I think I speak for both of us when I say we could use a comfortable share and a hearty meal. None can gainsay your strength, my friend, but I beg you not to underestimate that of our foe. Go well, and may your determination guide you to victory. Camp Bronze Lake. The ferry skipper spoke of a place my first time here. We should hurry and seek passage before Elorette and Kokonova elude us again. What a lovely camp. Now if I were a half-crazed alchemist with a heart sting and a new scheme up my sleeve, where would I hide? Just me or are the pigs flying in the sky? I know it's to laugh. Oh dear, that doesn't bode well. To the upper levels, Desiree, quickly! Poison wine? Or is it the water? poisoning the springs? You truly are the lowest of the low. You flatter me. It was just a little poison, really. As a treat. I'm afraid I couldn't contaminate all the water here, but we're having oh so much fun with our shiny new hallucinatory toxin. Step away from the springs, Desiree. Now. Protecting the healer, are we? How sickeningly sweet of you. But you ought to watch your step as well, my dear fairy apple. Lest you find yourself seeing stars, or Alouette, is all the mess? Look at how I look absolutely hideous. Should I say adorable? Your spawny is a porcelain doll. The hells are you on about? Very interesting, yes, very interesting indeed. Believe I may have poisoned myself. No, there's a predicament. And guess what? Do you recall those antidotes I prepared at the base? Because I've forgotten to bring them. You're your own worst enemy, do you know that? Suggest we retreat before you decide to dive headfirst into the spring for fun. Unborn scum, you think we'll allow you to walk free after all the chaos you've caused? Well, yes actually. Have you seen Alouette? She's in no state to contend with you, and I've never been one for rough and tumble. Of course, you're welcome to the chase, provided you have no qualms about leaving these poor souls to laugh themselves senseless. Retreat where we must. I would call today a rousing success, but worry you not, my dearest bushel of busybodies. We've plenty more tricks in store for you and the entire island. I don't sense any toxins in the waters anymore, so the springs should be safe again. Will they affect the local wildlife? Seeing as Alouette suffered from a taste of her own medicine, I doubt she's mastered much of a heart sting's power. As such, any poisons she produces from it would be relatively weak. Most of her handiwork has already evaporated from the steam. One might compare it to the way those awful unbound smoke bombs dissipate. And thank goodness they do. In more capable hands, however, the heart sting's poison remains active unless dispelled with a sooner or another form of antidote. The same permanence applies to its cleansing abilities for our food. Now, there's much on my mind, but I think we have bigger problems to address first. Let's make our rounds of a camp and then talk about our next steps. I'm going to have a look around the springs to ensure the toxins are gone for good. Could I ask you to treat any victims you come across? Everything else? Someone please end this nightmare. The hallucinatory toxin is causing the helper's fit of unending laughter. Target. Much appreciated, madame. I wasn't anywhere near the water when I was poisoned, but the toxin steam must have drifted this way. When I heard the rumblings about mysterious mammoths roaming around the camp recently, I was more than a little apprehensive, but I never expected those mammoths' masters would do something so cruel. Your efforts are helping us put this turmoil behind us. For that, you have my thanks. But I can't simply let you administer this aid alone. I should tend to the remaining victims as well. Please make it stop. Can't breathe. Thank you God, I wasn't expecting to nearly laugh myself to death at the placement for healing, but at least I can breathe easy again. I hear you're chasing after ones who did this. You're either very brave or very reckless, but I'm inclined to assume the former. Anyway, all that laughing has exhausted me, so I may as well take a break for my soak. Thank you again for your kindness, and may the navigator keep you. What comical costumes you all wear. What humorous dance you dance. It's all too much to bear. My costume compatriots were gone. Farewell, my visions. May you revel on in my memory. They say laughter is the best medicine, for I feel far worse than before. Many thanks for putting an end to it. I think I earned myself another soak and an extra flagon of mulled wine. Pleasant travels to you, healer. How goes the healing, Desiree? Wonderful, I'm glad Azuna proved effective. For my part, I've given the springs a thorough look. The toxins have dissipated completely, so the bathers should be safe from here on out. As for Eloret and Kokonova's antics, I've had a moment to reflect on everything. Now that our work is done, do you have a moment to chat? I'm well versed in the numbing and blinding poisons we use in our hunts at home. But something kept troubling me about Eloret's toxin. I've never seen anything like it, no idea that it even existed among the Scorpion's gifts. Eloret may be inexperienced, but the fact that she's also learned to inflict hallucinations is cause for concern. Still, we should try to look on the bright side. She's yet to discover the heart sting's cleansing properties, judging by the way she couldn't cure her own ailments. Knowing her as we do, I reckon she only has toxin trickery on her mind. Kokonova, however, handled himself surprisingly well despite his exposure. Do you recall the man in Limsa Lominsa who ate the poisoned apple? He claimed that Kokonova took a bite, yet never suffered its ill effects. He must have some manner of immunity, but how? Traditional Dunesfolk families often drink poisoned teas to build tolerance. How intriguing, so instead of using an heirloom like the heart sting, the Dunefolks train their bodies to endure fatal toxins. I'd be interested to try that tea as long as I had an antidote on hand. I didn't realize Kokonova might have had that sort of upbringing, but it would certainly explain why Eloret's tricks don't seem to affect him. Few in my village would ever think to consume potentially lethal food or drink without drawing on the heart sting's power, yet the Dunesfolk do it gladly. The more I consider our differing approaches to poison, the more fascinating it becomes. But I have a feeling that bathers won't want to overhear talk of poisons after what they've been through. Why don't we continue our discussion, Limsa Lominsa? Oh, I know I've been anxious to ascertain our thief's whereabouts, but things escalated far quicker than I thought. Your presence throughout the whole ordeal was a welcome one, Desiree. What was not so welcome were Eloret's parting words. Whatever she has planned for the whole island, it can't possibly be good. Her acts of mischief have only grown worse since I arrived in the city. We must take the Heartsting back before she causes any lasting harm. Of course, it was Wilson and Zarek's efforts that led us to Eldoret, so I have to thank them when I get the chance. In the meantime, I'll do what I can to track down our unruly thieves and report to you as soon as I'm able. Good. But I end this episode here, and we continue here next time. Until then, I'm Mace, and don't get lost.